Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Put Me Your Podcast, episode 114. Holy shit. I am your host, Andrew Gomez, a.k.a. The Mez, joined today by my lovely, wonderful, beautiful co-host to my left. He is the Pinoy powerhouse, the biggest heel in the biz, Byron Pangalau.
What's up, bitches? How you doing?
And also joining us, you know him, you love him. He is the 10th wonder of the world, the puncher of walls, Dicklitch himself, Richard Garcia.
How's it going?
What's up, fool? And also rounding out the crew, you know him, you love him. He is the coupon cutie, the $100 man, Bobby Diaz.
What's up, baby?
Ooh.
This fool.
This fool. Hey, look at that closely, Dick.
By the way, that site gives me life, dude. It really does. That shit is like the best content.
Who's Gone Wild is the best.
Yeah.
Shout out to
PW.
And did you see the Fools Gone Wild WWF logo that they did?
Yeah, that
Did
shit
they
is
really?
Legendary. Like, Fools Gone Wild, they're on top of it all the time. A lot going on this week, guys. We're off the heels of a great interview with our good friend Connor of the Ascension, Big Con, the York. And yeah, we just we're ready for a standard show. We're gonna get you guys caught up with this week in wrestling. A lot going on this week. I felt like WWE was actually 3 for 3 this week on their shows. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into some news, but before we do that, we got to give it to our sponsors. We got to give it to our good friends at Grudge Match Brand Apparel, Grudge Match Brand on Instagram. Make sure you go check them out. Like I said, turn on the notifications because once their stuff goes live, it sells out. And this last week was no different. They released a Vader shirt, which was fucking awesome, and they released War Horse merch that instantly sold out. Everything's sold out right now. You can still get the La Parka shirt that's still up for sale, but definitely go to their Instagram and turn on notifications so you know when they go live on stuff. And use our code Put Me Over for 10. Was it 10% off?
10. Sorry.
10% off your order. That website will put you over, and you'll get some cool shit out of it too. So make sure you go check them out and support. Also, make sure you go check out our friends at lapelyat.com. Lapelya on Instagram. Go check them out because they are actually doing, and they're in the middle of their Sticker Slam event, which they hold every year. They release hot stickers for you guys. Stickers are so cool. Especially they're doing their Black Wrestling Stars series, and a portion of those, or all, I think all proceeds go to Black Lives Matter, or they go to charity basically. So definitely go check out their Sticker Slam event that they're doing right now. Also go to our PutMeOver.com for all their Put Me Over podcast merchandise wants and needs. Use the promo code Kofi4Ever, Kofi, the number 4Ever, for 20% off your entire order. And that's pretty much it, you know. Thanks guys for listening, subscribing, downloading. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your friends' neighbors. And with that being said, let's get into some news, I think. You guys ready for some news? We got any news? Let's get into this dicks. Dirty. Filthy news. Take it away, Nick.
All right, so what do you guys want to talk about as far as the news? Where do we start?
Wherever, I guess.
There's a lot to cover this week, so
Let's talk about Marty Jannetty.
let's get that out of the way.
The jobber, the OG jobber.
Holy shit, where do we start with Marty Jannetty? So this past week, he posted on Facebook, and he quickly deleted it, that he, when he was 13 years old, it seemed like he admitted to killing a man based off of unwanted sexual advances. And this is not quite exactly his words, but he said, when I was a kid, it was a bowling alley, so growing up, and he approached an older man approached him, he could get his weed off of him, and he tried to hit on him. And I clocked that motherfucker. Basically, he attempted to killing the guy and bury him in the Chattahoochee River in Georgia, which, first of all, I didn't know that was a real river to begin with.
Where?
In Georgia.
What's it called?
Chattahoochee River.
The Chattahoochee River.
The Chattahoochee River. So I didn't even know that was a real river to begin with. And second of all, the police are investigating this claim. I mean, and Marty Jannetty, if you follow him on social media, he's made all these outlandish claims in the past. and some of it may be solid, it may not be. I mean, we don't know. I mean, it's Marty Jannetty we're talking about. The guy is 60 plus years old, and he's still acting like he's in his 20s and 30s. Like,
not very smarty Jannetty of him.
not very smarty Jannetty, no.
He is the wrestler. He is the wrestler.
Yeah, he's always living up the gimmick, I guess. But come on, bro. Once he got thrown at a barbershop, he was never the same, I feel like.
No, he was not.
And maybe it's just part of his Jamaican jealousy. Have we talked about his Jamaican jealousy? Or his girlfriend's
This is what he put on Facebook. Let me read it to you real quick. I've never told no one this, even my brother Gino, because Gino would have killed him, and I didn't want my brother gone. Hell, he'd only recently come home from Vietnam. Wrote Jannetty in the post. I was 13, working at Victory Lane's bowling alley, buying weed from some fag that worked there, and he put his hands on me. He dragged me around to the back of the building. You already know what he was going to try to do. That was the first time I made a man disappear. They never found him. They should have looked at the Chattahoochee River. But Winnie, the woman he just broke up with, I liked you so damn much, probably my favorite, but I promised myself way back then nobody would ever hurt me again. That includes you. I loved you, but you hurt me with your fucking Jamaican jealousy. You can go your own way. I don't need you. That was his exact post, by the way. That was his exact post.
Wow.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack there. I feel like I'm getting an echo or something.
You guys hearing that?
Yeah.
I think we're
well, I mean, this isn't the first time Marty Jannetty's gone out and posted some crazy shit on Facebook.
No.
I don't know what story has to do with another story, and he said he made a man disappear, but he was worried about his brother finding him and killing him. So, who did he disappear? Him? I don't know. I'm lost.
It's a lot to tangle, but that post did elicit Columbus PD to investigate the situation as far as what happened. Because I mean, even though it did happen over 40 plus years ago, it's still an attempted murder. It's still a murder that happened. So we'll see what happens. But if I'm Marty Jannetty, first of all, stay off of social media.
right.
And that goes for a lot of people as well. Just stay off of it. Don't say anything. Because that's one way to incriminate yourself right there, is by admitting something like that in the past.
Yeah.
Dude, this is like some kayfabe news stuff, dude. This is wild.
But on top of it all, he
fake.
needs help. He needs help.
He's 60 years old, you said, right?
60 plus, yeah.
Fuck, boy, stay off the social media. What the fuck?
I'm surprised he knows how to use it, dude.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
My mom doesn't even know how to use it.
That's wild.
All right. What else we got, Dick?
Jesus Christ. Oh, so XFL. We thought we saw the end of the XFL, but apparently not.
I was the saddest boy alive.
Oh, that's so sad.
So you're
I just bought my XFL jersey.
Oh, that's right,
All
you
hope-
did.
All hope is not quite lost yet.
Dude. What
Go
happened?
ahead. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh, The Rock buying the XFL is huge.
Yep.
That adds like a whole new cool factor that they didn't have before. And now, The Rock bought it for pennies on the dollar, pretty much. $15 million was the price that he got the XFL for.
They got him in bankruptcy court for that much.
That's wild, dude. So, I mean, The Rock seems pretty enthusiastic, pretty optimistic about it. We'll see if they can have games again. But, I mean, The Rock has money, bro.
Dude, it's 15 mil only? That's like free for The Rock.
Basically free. Like he got the WCW deal that Vince got when he bought it.
We have to clarify about something. It's not just The Rock. It's also with his ex-wife and with another partner. So they're actually all co-owners of it. And that actually makes his ex-wife the first woman owner in sports.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
Vince is spinning in his grave right now.
So
I would have known you were going to give it to her.
That's a shame. I'm just kidding.
I wonder if they're gonna bring in Vince. Like,
No way. He fucked that
No.
shit up initially,
He's
right?
done.
I mean, do you think he messed it up, or was it this whole COVID thing that kind of and made it terrible?
Right.
I think COVID fucked it for him.
Yeah, it was over.
But maybe God just had it out for him. Maybe he's like, you know what, Vince, you can't have this. We shut you down the first time. We're shutting you down the second time. No, you never get this.
It's definitely a blessing. It's going to compete with the NFL, too. Think about, like, the NFL is not going to have 0 positive testing. So
No.
XFL can do the bubble, dude. Like, they don't have that many players or coaches or teams or have the budget for that. But they can do something similar like what the NBA is doing. And
here's the problem is that they have to get a TV deal. Otherwise, this is not going to work at all. And they just bought just the name itself. So they don't have a TV deal yet at the moment. If they could somehow get one or get a streaming service, then it has legs. But if without that, it's DOA.
But
so I thought they were on Fox and ESPN and all those things, or is that collapsed too?
That collapsed as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that would collapse when they went bankrupt. So he has the name, and it's The Rock. So whatever he does is big and badass. So I think that he's gonna take this and run with it. And I mean, he doesn't have the strictures of paying a bunch of people right now. So he could sit on it for another year, and it can come out, in 2022, and it'd still be something.
We just got to get past this year.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's all it's got to do.
We have to wait and see. Again, like they need a TV deal. Otherwise, there's really no point, because that's how a lot of these sports franchises are now. It's the TV deals that are making the money. That's where, I mean, look at WWE, for example. Their revenue, their income is coming from TV deals. So without that, they really don't have a shot in the dark. But we'll see what happens. 2021, if they could get the league going by then, great. If not, we might have to wait a couple of years. But we'll see what happens. Historically, when you look at American sports, with the second football league, historically has not done well. You look at the first incarnation of the XFL, that folded within the year. Even when Donald Trump tried to start the league, I try to remember what the name of the league was, but it was the AAF or something like that.
AFL.
Which one?
The AFL.
I think it was like American Football League or something.
Yeah.
No, AFL was back in the 60s. That was unless that was a different iteration.
AAF?
It might have been AAF. AAF, there you go.
The one with Manziel, right? With Johnny.
I think that's one. And then whatever one, either way, the point being is that historically, whenever there's a second football league in America, it is not done well. So this is a challenge in itself,
Well, I'm going to bet on The Rock, the most electrifying man in history.
The Rock doesn't lose. The Rock just doesn't lose. The Rock jobs to no one.
Never. Unless you're Stone Cold, but still.
Unless you're Stone Cold. Yeah. But that's for the good of the business. That's just smart business.
Right.
He's not going to job to the NFL, dude. He's going to take it.
He's not taking that.
He's taking it.
So, well, we'll see what happens.
This is real life Ballers. You guys watch Ballers?
Yeah.
This is Ballers in real life.
It kind of is, actually.
That's so crazy. What else we got, Dick?
All right. So switching over from football back to wrestling, that's something we kind of cover every so often. Is the ratings, and if I was reading this most recent Observer, and they did post a pretty poignant chart as far as how the difference in ratings were before the pandemic and now, and I just kind of want to go over the numbers real quick, just to kind of give an example to see like how the pandemic's really affected wrestling in general. I'm going to go and start with Raw. Before the pandemic had occurred, and back in February, the average rating for Raw was around 2.2 million viewers. And now in July, we're down to about 1.6. The decline is about 29%. That's a pretty steep decline. And more so than historically Raw's decline's been, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. SmackDown's probably about the same percentage-wise. It's about 26%. I mean, NXT's down by about 8%. AEW is down by about 11%. So everyone's affected by this. It's not just exclusive to WWE, but definitely the pandemic has affected everyone. I mean, just last week, actually this week, AEW did have the highest rating before the pandemic, over 900,000 viewers.
That's pretty huge.
And NXT did pretty well as well. They so let's not discount them either. But it just seems like there is an overall decline. But I mean, when you look at WWE, like 30% for Raw is a lot. That's a big number. And what's more frightening is that it's everywhere around, and there's no growing fan base.
Well, I think not having a live crowd really hurts it too. You know, when they go to your town, you know, people get excited about it. You see more WWE like promoted. You know, coming to fucking Chattanooga, Chattahoochee River. So you know, you have that promotion, but now I'm assuming they don't run any of that.
Well, they haven't run any shows. Neither AEW or WWE have run any shows since the pandemic. I mean, shows of the crowds since the pandemic.
Yeah.
There might be a couple of independent shows that may have done with the crowd with the outside, but that's few and far between. I wouldn't even blame it on the pandemic for at least on Raw's end. I mean, Raw's just had a declining viewership year after year after year. It's now probably accelerated more because of the pandemic, but the pandemic was not the reason why it's declining.
But the thing is, I think a lot of people are missing is numbers should be up because people are at home. They can't go out. They can't do anything. Numbers for watching TV should overall be higher because people want something to do, so they watch shows,
especially live action. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about this earlier with you guys before we recorded with, you know, YouTube and Twitch. Their numbers are all skyrocketing, like through the roof.
Wouldn't you think they kind of fight each other in a way? Because
they are. They definitely are. But their numbers have skyrocketed since this whole pandemic happened. And you'd think that numbers for live TV would transcend too, but it's not. And I think it has to do with the product itself. It just isn't interesting right now.
I think it's probably a combination of everything. But it's like I think Drew brought up the good point of like when they're live. Imagine when you're a kid or you're younger and like it just makes you want to watch it. Like it's when you go to a concert, you're gonna listen to that band that whole next week, right?
Yeah,
I think that whole interest of like that whole interactive experience is kind of gone right now. And we'll get into that, I guess, when we talk about our highlights for the week. But yeah, I think that's the element that we're kind of ignoring why ratings are dropping for wrestling, I think.
Yeah.
Well, they're in panic mode now, so hopefully they can turn the ship around, but it's been sinking for a while.
And those TV deals, they spent a lot of money.
Billions.
Yeah. So you think that if the numbers were declining, they're like, hey, man, we got to renegotiate this contract, bro.
Well, it's not so much renegotiating, but when the contract currently ends, their value is not going to be the same as it was when they signed the contract back in 2019.
Right.
They see these numbers declining, and for Raw, I mean, now the question remains is AEW and NXT both on Wednesday. They're doing more viewers than Raw on Mondays, and Mondays has been a historic wrestling night. Now we're seeing the shift where it's now Wednesdays. Wednesday's now the wrestling war. Now I don't want to say everyone, but like it went from being Monday to Wednesday for wrestling night.
Yeah.
And the NBA night too. So the NBA is taking up a lot of my time.
A lot of sports are coming back around this time, so that's also going to be other factors as well.
It's only going to get worse for WWE.
This could affect AEW and NXT as well. It's going to affect AEW because their schedule coming up is going to be changing. I believe not the 12th. Let's see. When is the
Yeah, they changed from a Wednesday to Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So
it's going to be the show on August 19th, for instance. That's going to be changed to, I believe, August 22nd. I want to say, but let me double check. So there is definitely going to be some changes with AEW, and that has to do with the NBA playoffs. Let me look up the schedule and take a look.
Well, that's gonna suck. NBA is a big powerhouse right now. It's taking.
It is.
I'm watching that shit all day long, even at work. That shit's just on.
Okay, so here we go. So the 8-12 schedule, that's going to be normal. So this Wednesday is going to be normal. NXT and AEW on the 12th coming up. The 8-19 AEW show is going to be moved to 8-22nd, which is going to be the same day as Takeover. So that should be interesting to see what's going to happen.
Shit. They're counter programming NXT.
That weekend is going to be very interesting. I want to talk about this weekend while we're at it as well, because Vince has been trying to get SummerSlam outside of Florida. He wants to do it. The rumor being in New Jersey, and I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but we'll see. He wants to get some sort of crowd, and given what's been going on in that region, they're really trying their best to curb the numbers for COVID-19. So them coming to New Jersey, I don't know if that's going to work or not. It just seems like we'll just have to wait and see. But there's definitely going to be a lot of counter programming that's going to happen. So the 22nd is going to be AEW and TakeOver. So that's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. The 23rd, I believe Game Changer Wrestling's having a show in Atlantic City, as a matter of fact. So if they do want to get to New Jersey, WWE is going to try to counter program that live event with SummerSlam. If the rumor appears to be true. But I don't see WWE. I don't see SummerSlam happening in New Jersey, to be honest with you. I don't see it happening at all. I think it's going to be in Florida again. It might be in an empty arena, but we'll see what happens. I just don't see it happening.
Why not have it on a beach in SummerSlam? Have it on a beach outside. I saw rumors that they were talking about having it on a giant cruise ship. Fuck it.
Oh, that's tight.
That would be dope as fuck.
I think Vince might have his own private yacht, and they could easily do that.
Yeah, just put it on the yacht.
They could do that if they want to.
Get some drone shots. Like, I think it'd be really dope.
I mean, it'd definitely be different and something like off the wall. They can bring in like other people and have them as audience, you know, like.
Because one thing about WWE is that it's so predictable and so like stale at the moment. Whenever they do something a little different, we get excited.
Mm-hmm.
So why not? I think it'd be a great move. Speaking of little different, I mean, we can talk about Raw if we're done with news.
I think that's
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, so Raw this week, I really liked Raw this week. I thought they did something completely different. I mean, after they got record low numbers, they completely flipped the script. The whole show felt different. It didn't feel like your standard Raw. Yeah, they still had the dive to the outside, and Raw rolls on after this. Like that's still going to happen.
Right.
But the flickering of the lights and the equipment not working right, and then you had the, I guess, debut of this new faction called Retribution. We don't know really much about them. I'm excited to see where that goes. But there's a girl in the group, from what I can tell, and they are throwing Molotov cocktails at like power things at the Performance Center.
They were causing anarchy, and yeah, I wanted to mention about this real quick about the group, and it seems like it's a play on Antifa. That's what I got out of it.
Whoa,
That's pretty crazy.
That's pretty deep. I was thinking that. That's crazy. That's a good thought.
I watched it. I watched it earlier Monday, and like I missed the angle. Then I hear everyone talking about like, oh, there's this new group coming in. I'm like the Beatdown Crew, or not the Beatdown Crew, but the Hurt Business. I'm like, that's already been there. And then I looked again, and I was like, oh, I see what they're talking about. So and they definitely look like Antifa, because Antifa protesters, they wear all black, they wear a mask. So it was a play on that. And not only did they strike on Raw, but they also did strike at the end of SmackDown. So they were prevalent on both shows.
What I didn't like about the thing that they did on Raw was that they added like burning sounds, like clearly like sound, like to make the fire sound like it was burning. They added like,
oh, yeah.
If you go back and watch it, you can totally hear like, oh, they just added like this burning sound effect. It was really weird.
The exaggerated sounds, I noticed that Raw and AEW, they did exaggerate the fan sounds on there. It was getting a little annoying.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean WWE, especially I think on SmackDown, they really pump in crowd noise and yeah.
But it was definitely exaggerated, and it kind of got at times where it got kind of annoying.
Yeah, I agree because you can tell when it's like canned in and like not the genuine reaction to people. There was also what else happened on Raw? Oh, Lucha Underground Raw Underground is now a thing that is happening on Raw. It's like a fight club.
Raw Underground.
What do you guys think about this?
Wow.
I mean, whenever ratings go down, they got to bring in Shane, right?
It's amazing. I think it's the best thing they've done in a while, and it changes the pace. Like, you're sick of the Performance Center at this point, or like the same venues.
Yes.
Now it kind of separates week to week, and I mean, I guess we can just say it now. The Hurt Business is making it too. It's a win for the underground portion of it and for the Hurt Business because it just makes everybody legit and dope. And
I'm so excited for the Hurt Business.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential there. Hopefully they don't goon them out too soon. But I think the Raw Underground thing is dope. It's a good way to get like jabronis that you've never seen before. I don't like the production of it. I feel like they cut the cameras way too much, and they still do the shaky cam. Like, un-WWE-ify this shit because it just gets to the point where I don't even want to watch it because of the shaky cam and the zooms, and it's too much.
Yeah, that's called Bloodsport.
Yes,
that's what I thought right away. Is like this is Matt Riddle's Bloodsport. And even Matt Riddle made a comment on Twitter saying, like, I've seen this before. Where have I seen this before?
That's funny, dude.
Barnett said the same thing, and I thought right away this is a play on that. I mean, it works for them because they do it once in a while. So, and well,
I thought the whole third hour was going to be Raw Underground.
It essentially was Raw Underground. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the novelty is going to wear off real quick because if they're going to do this every third hour, like every week, the third hour is going to be dedicated to Raw Underground. The novelty is going to wear off real quick.
Did you get the feeling of the Brawl for All? Did you get vibes of Brawl for All?
Yeah, but minus the shoot punches, just shoot punches, tosses. It just seems like it was worked punches, worked throws.
MVP did a judo toss, a beautiful judo toss.
No, he did. I mean, MVP does jiu-jitsu, so he has a martial arts background, and so obviously Lashley has an MMA background. I think it could work if they use it periodically. If it builds Lashley up to what I hope is thinking is Brock Lesnar. If it goes that route, cool. But they just got to be careful and not do it every week because if they do it every week, it's going to tire out real quick.
Dude, imagine Brock showing up to Raw Underground. That would be fucking
If they do that, I'm cool with it. I'll be
imagine he comes in and does a dim mac. I would go ape shit.
Yeah, it'd be over. I'm buying a Brock shirt that day.
Yeah, I'm going out and buying a Brock shirt for sure.
Bottom one. What the heck is a dim mac?
I'm excited though. I mean, it's something different. Finally, like I said, like we're so used to the staleness and the predictability of Raw. This is something that's completely different. And then you have this new faction. Who do you guys think is in this faction? Just based on the name Retribution. You could hear them when they were coming out with their Molotovs. They were saying like, "We're tired of this" or something like that.
I think there was a female in there.
There definitely was, because they had her beat up a girl on SmackDown.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be like people that were fired and bringing back?
No.
They already have too much staff even right now.
They have a lot of fucking.
They could easily.
The ones that were fired, they were at the Bound for Glory pay-per-view a couple weeks ago. I don't know who's in there. It's
going to be interesting.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on it, but we'll see. I mean,
Also huge news is MVP signed a multi-year deal.
I thought he retired. After the Royal Rumble, he's like, I'm officially done. I just wanted to wrestle Rey Mysterio one time for my son. And now he's like,
that was 6 months ago.
which I love MVP. MVP is fucking money, dude. So I'm down for it.
Yeah, he's kind of grown on me, his whole demeanor, and he's kind of upped Lashley. So, you know, I'm all for it because Lashley's dope.
And now Shelton Benjamin, who I forgot about.
Yeah, so I'm all about it.
If they get Kerry King back, I'm sold. Kerry King was in the original Beat 'em Up crew in TNA, by the way.
I thought you said Larry King, and I'm like,
no,
that'd be an interesting, interesting addition.
Kerry King. So we'll see what happens.
Imagine Larry King standing next to Bobby Lashley, and he's just like,
Jesus.
Bobby, now tell me, last time you did something like this, I don't do a Larry King impression.
You guys smoke 2 packs a day.
Also, another thing that happened on Raw that was pretty jarring was the poisoning of Montez Ford. What did you guys think about this angle?
I don't know what they're going with it. I'm confused a little bit. We'll see.
I think it would have hit a lot. It would have hit a lot harder. Okay, because he passed out during Dawkins' match, right?
Right.
No one checked on him. And then they make him fight a match right after. Like
They
normally they'd be
cleared
like, they cleared him like in 2 seconds. Like, yeah, he's fine. I think if he would have passed out during the match, a la Shawn Michaels, without passing out the first time, I think that would have like hit a lot harder. Because I would have been like, what the fuck is happening?
Agreed.
Yeah, it would have been better, but they didn't do that. And
Who do you guys think is behind it? Because already Bianca Belair is going after Zelina Vega's crew.
Think it's Retribution? What if it's
I'm thinking it could be Retribution.
Yeah, maybe. Weird name, but yeah, maybe.
Is it?
we'll see what happens.
Remember when Paige started the submission sorority, and they realized it was a porn. It was like a porn series. So
Was
they
it
like
really?
Yeah. So they had to change it to like the PCB or something like that.
Oh yeah.
But imagine Retribution is also like a porn thing. You have to change the name already.
Right.
Like it's just revenge porn.
We're gonna have to look this up.
Yeah, revenge porn. And then you had Dominic coming out, and he's gonna have a match with Seth Rollins, right?
At SummerSlam, so it appears that's going to be the direction they're going. It's
He
not
beat the fuck out of them with a kendo stick.
He did. He wailed on Seth. Kudos to him for fucking taking that shot. It appears likely that Ray's going to probably re-sign with WWE. I didn't buy into the idea that he was going to go to AEW or anywhere else because his son was there. Like his son wants to become a wrestler. His son's in training at the Performance Center.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it makes sense. But I don't know. WWE doesn't know how to use Ray. I feel like
WWE doesn't know how to use a lot of people. So
yeah,
I mean,
that's true. That's very true.
That's an understatement, right?
So I'm not really at all surprised by that. Raw to me was whatever.
Yeah,
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt they tried, but given its past, it hasn't convinced me enough that this is going to be turning the ship. We'll just have to wait and see. But we'll see. I mean,
I know. I think it's definitely a big step in the right. There's a lot of little nuances too with Bailey and Sasha, and that bleeds over to the other parts of the brand. But I think it's definitely in the right place right now. Apollo. So.
What do you guys think about Nia Jax being suspended indefinitely?
Fuck yeah.
What happened? I thought she was like on her way back. She was like in the title picture mix.
I don't even know. I'm
fine with it. I think it's a good move. But
Yeah,
whatever they can do to make it seem like she's just going back to train, because that's all it is. I
mean, if she needs it, definitely just have her do that.
Yeah, just go back to training, get back in the the training center and develop your moves, because she obviously needs some hard help with that. Because
not just her moves, but just technique. Learn how to fucking wrestle, dude.
dude, she'd be dope if she like could get that together, because she's she's a bigger girl. They need someone like her, but the way she wrestles, someone's gonna get badly injured, man.
Yeah.
I mean, people have, so
People have been injured by
Sent
now.
Kyrie back to Japan, dude.
Yeah.
And then the Riot Squad is back together. Why they broke them up in the first place, I have no idea, but that's another big piece of what's happening on Raw. So a lot of storylines going on Raw, and that's just like the main ones. There's a lot of little ones too. There's the 24/7 title, which is garbage, but it shines a spotlight on people like R-Truth and Tozawa, who's officially like a ninja now, which is weird. Let's talk about SmackDown. SmackDown happened last night. I missed last week's SmackDown, but they did a good job in filling me in and showing a bunch of recaps of what happened the week before. I didn't know that The Fiend attacked Alexa Bliss.
Yep. That's how SmackDown ended last Friday.
That's pretty wild. Mandible claw on a girl.
Yeah. Sketchy.
Super sketch.
Walking a fine line right there, dude.
That envelope, not too far though.
I'm just glad he didn't shove something else in her mouth.
Hey.
Watch it.
Hey, all right. I'm done. But Matt Riddle and Sheamus had a fucking good ass match. Matt Riddle can be a big star if they play their cards right and stay off him not wearing shoes topic.
Yeah, I don't like it either though. I hate the no shoe look. It's stupid to me. You're a wrestler, bro.
I mean, he's a MMA fighter.
Yeah, but like still, it's not safe either. I don't think. But that's just
I'm sure he's had plenty of broken toes.
I agree it's not safe. It is part of his gimmick. I get why he's doing that, but it's only going to be a matter of time before he's going to have to start wearing boots. I mean, look what happened with Rusev. Rusev originally wrestled barefoot, and then once he hurt his ankle, he had to wear boots. I hope he doesn't get hurt, but I think it's only going to be a matter of time because when you wrestle barefoot, you're taking a lot of chances.
I mean, I get it, the gimmick and all, but at the same time, like wrestling needs like knee pads and elbow pads. I always freak out when guys don't wear that kind of stuff because they're just asking to like tweak something,
Exactly. I loved this match, dude. I'm not a big Sheamus guy. I don't really care for him. He's whatever's, but this match, I was like, wow, this is great. Everything that they were doing, it was pretty dope. The way it ended was kind of sketchy. I didn't really care for it because they had stupid Shorty G. I hate the name. Stop doing it.
How many times did they say Shorty G in that segment?
Oh my God, way too many times, and it was annoying.
Okay, dude. So it annoyed you too.
So bad. I
heard Shorty G maybe like 30 times.
At least.
It got to the point where I felt like they were just like finding ways to say Shorty G.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's because he hasn't been on TV in a long time and they want to remind the audience who this guy is. But who was afraid of a guy named Shorty G? You can't do a heel turn with a guy named Shorty G. Elena was watching SmackDown with me. She's like, wait, Shorty G's a guy? Because it sounds like a girl thing.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like a female rapper.
Shorty G, what's her deal?
SmackDown in general is doing there's so many little things that I love. Like, dude, the whole Big E thing, I think it's really starting to grassroots now. Like, every time I see him on TV, like his little promo that he cut, it's coming, dude.
Push that, man.
I don't know what they're going to do, dude. I don't know, but I hope they set something up where it's a big moment for him. It looks like it's coming, dude. I'm so excited.
Please don't mess this up. Please. I need this.
Yeah.
I need something.
Yeah, I mean, he came out and said that Xavier Woods pretty much saved his career. I mean, he probably would have been fired. So if it wasn't for Xavier Woods, like Big E, Kofi, and and Xavier, if it wasn't for Xavier creating that group, where would these guys be right now? Like, would we even care about them?
Yep.
Yeah, and they were all floundering.
Never break up the New Day, ever.
I agree. There's no need.
Ever.
Especially in a group that touts positivity. You can't have them fighting each other.
Yeah, there's no way.
They can wrestle, but it could be like those, like friends wrestling, and then you do the hug after.
Yeah, we have to wrestle for this number one contendership or something.
Right.
Exactly. I'm digging it. I want this to work. So just like Connor said, don't WWEify it. Don't get your hands all up in it and mess it up and squish it.
I agree.
Just let it happen.
Yes, just be organic the same way Kofi was organic, and it sparked like out of nothing, and it was just so great.
There was a Miz TV segment that was very cringy. I hate seeing Morrison.
I'm over Miz and Morrison. They're not doing it for me.
I hate seeing Morrison like this. Miz, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Act stupid if you want. But Morrison deserves a lot better than what they're giving him. I do like the fact that he said no one's more underground than me. Get it?
I get it. Yeah.
Lucha
Smart.
And Morrison does this thing where he adds little tings of like you gotta like blink and you'll miss it references, and I really enjoy that. But overall, I can't. I thought this segment was dog shit. And then, I mean, actually, SmackDown not a whole lot happened. The Fiend came out again to get Alexa Bliss, but she like batted his hand away, and he like listened to her. So I don't know where the story's going. I'm fine with it. Just hopefully it goes somewhere good.
It all leads to SummerSlam. There's going to be the Fiend versus Braun Strowman. We'll see how Alexa Bliss plays part in that match.
Come on, we know it's going to happen.
But it's definitely, but it's about time. I mean, you got to switch the belt. Braun's had it long enough.
Braun hasn't done shit with it, in my opinion.
He hasn't done anything with it. It's time to move on. I mean,
we've said it
more
before.
There's more challenges on the Fiend side to do it, because you can always go Jeff Hardy, you can go Big E, especially since they're trying to push Big E as a wrestler.
Big E and the Fiend.
Oh, yeah. That'd be.
You got Daniel Bryan still. I mean, you can even go AJ if you want to do AJ versus Fiend. There's more possibilities with that. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Unless Braun goes heel, because his promo, he kind of was saying that there's an evil inside of him that he's unleashing. So maybe the Fiend is having an effect on Braun Strowman now.
Probably. I mean, he's had an effect on a lot of. I mean, the Miz turned. Who else turned? There's quite a bit.
Seth. There
we go.
So everyone he's faced pretty much.
And that does add a nuance to the Fiend's character, where whoever he comes in contact with, their personality changes. And we might even see Alexa's personality change as well, because I think we're starting to see that too.
Well, her and Nikki are probably done, going off what happened last week. No Nikki Cross on the show this week, but she is the is she number one contender right now?
I don't think so. She lost.
She lost to Alexa.
Yeah. No, she lost to Bailey.
It was a triple threat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
We're losing track as far as who's going to be contenders for the belts. I just want to say this real quick. And it looks like the projected card for SummerSlam might be Asuka versus Sasha again. They might run that match back again, which I'm okay with. But
Sasha.
But they are really pushing. I mean, they're I don't know what they're trying to do with Bayley and Sasha, but they need to end that storyline as soon as possible. The longer that goes out, then the less I'm going to care about. I felt SummerSlam should have been the right move to tell that story and have that feud end.
I don't even know if I think they might have pumped the brakes on that.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to do anything with Sasha and Bayley. I like them together. It's funny. Like, keep them together, dude. What's the problem with that?
A lot of fans, I feel like, expected the break, and now that's not happening are complaining. I see a lot of it online. But just let them tell the story, I guess. Like, sure, you're going to get more weeks of Sasha and Bayley being entertaining. Oh, wow. That sucks. Like, no, it's fine.
There could be way worse shit. And they're killing it. They're the best things in wrestling right now.
They're doing well. They are.
As for the women, they're killing it, dude. Like, they're the only ones that matter right now. All the other women are doing absolutely nothing. This Mandy and what's her name? I can't remember her name.
Mandy and Sonya.
Yeah, and Sonya. It's nothing, and nobody cares. But they're gonna keep going with it. But Bayley and Sasha, why would they break that up? It's perfect right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they've been teasing that storyline for about a year or so.
They don't need to tease it anymore. Just keep it going.
Yeah, just keep it going
Like
until.
Hal Bobby? Like Hal Bobby?
Just keep it going.
Okay.
Watch
There you
that
go.
hand.
There you go.
Hand signal.
There you go.
Hey, this is. I'm going to the side.
Oh no, that was a delete. That was a
I couldn't-
delete.
Delete.
Yeah.
Don't delete it.
Delete. Yeah. What's it called? The Retribution faction made another appearance at the end of SmackDown and went full NXT or Nexus. Went full Nexus on the ring. They used a chainsaw. They came in with bats and pipes and crowbars and fucked up anybody that got in their way. Went into the ring, tore the ring apart, used a chainsaw to destroy the ring, pretty much. Cut all the ropes. That was a real chainsaw because those ropes instantly disintegrated once they took it to it. Spray painted all over the Performance Center, all over the plastic barriers, the ring aprons. They were spray painting everything. This made it feel more Antifa to me, for sure. I get what you're saying, Dick.
If they're losing, if they need to make money, why are they destroying all their stuff?
Oh, they don't need to make money. They just come on. WWE made so much money.
Yeah, they did.
This past quarter. I don't know the numbers exactly, but they're up like 40% or some shit like that. So they got money to burn. Not running shows is definitely saving them a lot of money.
Yeah, like your background, Drew. This is fine.
Yeah, this is fine. That's why I have it as my background. Let's switch gears. You guys want to go NXT or AEW? NXT didn't really do much for me.
Let's get into Wednesdays, the wrestling night officially.
Dakota Kai and Rhea Ripley tore the house down, I felt, on Wednesday. Super competitive match. You would think Rhea Ripley would just steamroller, but cagey Dakota Kai, I like it. She came out and beat Rhea Ripley to become number one contender. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming at all. I was watching the match and I kind of was like half watching it, just catching the good spots. But it was a great match. But I just didn't think that Dakota Kai was going to win, and she actually pulled it off, which was very cool. But you guys were noticing something about the blonde hair that I didn't. So
Rhea Ripley went blonde.
Yeah,
he did.
Which kind of tells me she's going to the main roster. I could be wrong. I could be looking into that too differently, but so definitely, I don't know. She looks different. She looks like what Vince would like. I think.
She looks like Android 18 even more.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the look. I'm fine with it. I just don't know what the plan is for her. I mean, it looks like she's not going to be on TakeOver, so I think it's safe to say she may end up going to either Raw or SmackDown. If she does go to Raw, I mean, obviously Charlotte's on Raw at the moment, but she's been out. So maybe this is where they're going to pick up the story with her and Charlotte, because Rhea has fallen since WrestleMania. So we don't know what's going to happen with her. It looked like, I mean, they didn't want to go with Rhea versus Io again, but they're going to try a different opponent because you got a baby face and a heel. Although really Io's kind of more of a tweener than anything else, but they didn't want that dynamic. But we'll see what happens.
Other than that, NXT kind of didn't do a whole lot. I mean, there was action, but not anything like really to write home about. I'm not a big fan of Bronson Reed. He beat Shane Thorne, but I can't get behind the thick boy. I can't get behind that. That doesn't seem like someone that I should be cheering for.
Keep that to your Instagram bio, dude. You don't need to post that on NXT, dude.
Yeah, you don't got to put that on your trunks, dude.
That's some Brendan Shaw bullshit right there.
And then
he is going to wrestle Damian Priest next week. They did have a backstage
speaking of Damian Priest, he won a triple threat match. He's going to be in the ladder match for the North American title. Again, he fought horny Logan and Ridge Holland, who basically is Cesaro when he made his debut.
Pretty much.
His background
I'm
is
impressed with Rich Holland. I thought he did he looked really well. I mean, I'm not too familiar with him in NXT UK, so they brought him over here to the main NXT brand, and I'm impressed. I want to see more of what this guy has to offer.
Yeah. If you remember, Cesaro, they brought him in, and he was an ex-rugby player that left the league because he was too violent, and they're basically rehashing that again with Rich Holland. So we'll see what he can do. I don't watch NXT UK, so I don't know too much about him. And then let's talk about the main event, Undisputed Era versus Imperium. I thought that match was great up until the end. What did you guys think of the match in general?
With those guys, you're always going to get a decent match. It's never going to be other than like a 3.75 and higher.
Yeah. It's good to see Kyle O'Reilly back, too. I love Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah. He's gone for a minute, huh? He didn't rest.
Yeah. He's got that bright red beard.
He's got an A3K beard going, dude.
Really, sure. For reals, man.
And then, the finish of the match, and Adam Cole gets in Pat McAfee's face. Pat McAfee is, there was an incident that happened. You knew it was a work, but on Pat McAfee's podcast, and it's going to lead to a match now at SummerSlam at TakeOver. Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. They're getting each other's face. Pat McAfee calls him a itty bitty little bitch and punted him. I mean, this guy's an ex-NFL punter for the Indianapolis Colts, and he punted the shit out of Adam Cole, knocked him out. Triple H and Shawn Michaels came out and kicked McAfee out of the building. So McAfee's going to be the heel in this. What do you guys think about this?
He has to be the heel in this one because he comes off as a dick. Like his personality, the way he comes off, he doesn't come off as very likable to begin with.
Yeah.
So you have to have him as a heel. I'm glad they went in that direction, as opposed to trying to make him a babyface because he's some sort of celebrity, and have Adam Cole be the heel. I mean, if there were fans involved, if they went that direction, obviously the fans would cheer it for Adam Cole. So they made the right call by making McAfee a heel. And he's a lot bigger than Cole. I mean, even though like they have Cole listed at 6 feet, he's not 6 feet. He's definitely around like maybe like 5'8", 5'9" or so. So you do want to tell that story of a much bigger guy, and Pat McAfee against Adam Cole. Cole obviously is, a great worker. And I think he'll guide him to a good match, and we'll see what happens. If they do the angle the right way, I'm fine with it. I think it's about time you turn Adam Cole babyface, especially if he's not coming to the main roster or any of the Undisputed Era guys are coming to the main roster. You got to do something with him. The only way to go is to turn him babyface and see what happens.
Babyface Undisputed Era would be dope.
I'd be fine with it.
So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really care for I don't care for this Pat McAfee shit.
I don't think McAfee's gonna get the ratings up for sure.
No.
But it's a good spot for someone like Adam Cole to be sort of in the mainstream while he's not feuding for a title. So this is a really, a good position to be in if you're not fighting for a title. It's almost like how The Rock would wrestle someone, or someone wrestles a celebrity at WrestleMania. It's that equivalent to me for this takeover or whatever.
It's a good attraction match.
Right, exactly.
I could see it as that.
I think they're hoping that McAfee brings some of his like fans from his podcast and everything over to NXT and WWE. Maybe turn them into fans and get them to keep watching. I think that's the main thing.
That's the logic behind it.
I don't care for it.
Pat McAfee reminds me of like a poor man's Dave Portnoy.
He kind of
Barstool Sports.
Yes.
Just like a dude, speaks his mind.
Chills.
Yeah, chills.
But has an athletic background. I mean, he
doesn't eat that much pizza.
Definitely doesn't. He's been training though.
He's been training wrestling.
He's had a ring for a couple of years, so he's been doing some training. So, and like I said, with Adam Cole, if you're going to be in the ring with someone who's green and you want someone to help you with it, I mean, Adam Cole's a very good guy to be in the ring with. He can guide you to a decent match. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. I mean, like I said, I'm all for it as long as it leads, because Adam Cole at this point in NXT, there's really nothing else for him to do. Might as well turn babyface and go from there.
Hell yeah. Let's talk about AEW for a little bit, and then we got to go home, brother. I love how Dynamite every week that doesn't start off with a 20-minute promo that sets up the main event. Boom, we're live, we're going to action. And that's what happened here. We had a 12-man tag match. The Elite teams with FTR against the Dark Order. I thought this match was great. A lot of action, begin to end, mayhem everywhere. What did you guys think about this opener?
Like you said, I like the start. Like, let's get into it. We don't need a whole flashy intro. It was great match. I was wondering if FTR did get injured. I don't know. It looked like he was limping off. I don't know if it's a work, but I hope he's not injured because I like that story. It seemed like
we told a story where
we're
in the middle of the match. What I forgot which one it was. Was it?
It was Omega. Was in the he was the old left one. Everyone left him in the match.
No. Who got hurt from FTR?
What's the guy with the beard? Dark. The
Harwood?
Black hair.
Harwood or
yeah.
Cash Wheeler is the bald guy.
Wheeler's the bald guy. Harwood is the one with the beard, I think.
I think it was Cash.
Either way, it tells a story where like you could see like there's dissension amongst the Elite and with FTR. So they're telling a storyline with that. I thought the ending was great. I mean that discus lariat from Mr. Brody Lee to Hangman was it was pretty brutal.
Yeah. Especially because that's Hangman went for his own and then Brody Lee turned it into his own. And and the Dark Order needed a win for sure.
Yeah, they did. So I was overall fine with it. A great match to begin with, and that discus lariat was was pretty brutal.
After that, let's talk about Zack Ryder, aka Matt Cardona, making his AEW Dynamite debut. It's weird seeing such a WWE guy in AEW. I thought he was a lifer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He has jobber written all over him. If they make him a star, I'm like, oh.
He actually looks a lot better than what he did in WWE.
Well, he definitely had a date with Steroid Man because he's looking jacked.
That's quite the accusation.
I mean, he's always been a big guy. Like he's even in WWE.
Well, the thing is, when he's in WWE, like he didn't look as big as he does now. He looks massive compared to some of those fuckers.
He's bulked up.
You also got to keep in mind the roster for AEW typically tends to be a little bit smaller than
small man.
WWE back then.
Or now.
I mean, look at Billy Gunn. Like, I mean, Billy Gunn's a lot bigger than most of the guys on the AEW roster. But back in his heyday, I mean, he was average for what they were producing back then.
Yeah.
I'm wondering where they're going to go with
what's on the roster.
I'm wondering where they're going to go with him. I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but I mean, I guess they need more single wrestlers. They got a lot of tag team.
Too many tag teams.
Yeah, so I like that they're doing the tag team stuff, but at the same time, it's like there aren't enough single wrestlers. So you don't have. You
also got to keep in mind a lot of the
main title.
And also keep in mind, like they don't have a full roster yet. I mean, Neville's still in Pac is still in England. Lucha Bros are back, but you don't have that full roster. And I think when you get that full roster, if things hopefully go back to normal, there's a lot of possibilities. I mean, you can easily do a trios championship. I think doing a trios championship would be great.
I agree.
I think more so than having the TNT championship because they didn't really need to have that secondary title. I don't think they need to have any other titles other than the trios. And then before that, back on Monday, they started a tournament with the women, a tag team tournament. And it was kind of akin to how the Lethal Lottery was back in the day for WCW, where they would randomly assign women to different teams. So we saw, the likes of Cameron back, Taya Conchi, Anna Jay. So we'll see how this goes. I just hope this doesn't lead to a women's tag team belts because they don't need it at the moment. They don't have enough women to do a tag team championship match, let alone a single women's championship.
Yeah.
No, and not only that, they didn't really feature the women at all on this night for AEW.
Well, they didn't because they had the tournament on Monday, and I think a little bit on Tuesday with Dark. So
okay, that makes sense.
But they didn't focus a lot on it because they had their own segments.
Let's talk about what pretty much everyone's been talking about is this Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara interaction that was on Dynamite. What did you guys think about this? I think Matt Hardy was gonna bleed regardless. He took a chair shot to the head. I don't think Sammy Guevara was aiming for him. I think he was just throwing a chair to throw a chair, but he hit him in the head. If you look, it looked like he already geeked himself before Sammy Guevara even came out there. If you look closely on the video, if you look at it closely, oh, it's my fault, huh? If you look at it closely, fool, you could see he kind of has like a bandage on his head already.
Yeah,
so I could kind of tell that something was going to happen.
Yeah, it was somewhere around here. I don't know. With that picture that you sent, it kind of looked like it was like here or like here. But yeah, it did look like he had something. I mean, the blood kind of gave it that oomph that it needed. That segment.
He was gushing, bro.
Yeah, dude.
A lot.
When that table collapsed and like you could see the side of the table, dude, there was blood like all on the corner of it.
Yeah,
it was wild. But I hate that everyone's comparing this to Nia Jax. How if this was Nia Jax, everyone would be flaming her, and it's like, no, dude. Like, there's a difference between someone getting cut, and there's a difference between someone like hurting their neck or hurting their back and being out indefinitely. That's a difference.
Yeah, a cut and a neck injury are completely different.
Yeah.
Unless you're cutting someone's head off, then maybe there's a problem. But
yes.
Someone saying, "Hey, I'm not set," and you chucking them anyway is a lot more reckless than Sammy Guevara throwing a chair and it going and hitting Matt Hardy in the head. That was an accident.
Not a Nia thing at all. That's like he hasn't had a history of being sketchy at all.
Ever, yeah. Unless he's talking about Sasha Banks. That's a whole different can of worms.
Right.
But yeah, that was a lot of blood. There was a lot of blood on this show in general. Blood and guts is what they are going for this night. Before we get to the main event, what did you guys think of Eric Bischoff making his return during the debate between Jericho and Cassidy? I thought this segment was stellar.
Real quick, before you guys get to that,
okay.
I'm watching it again, and I don't think. I mean, you got to think about with wrestlers. They tend to have a lot of scar tissue on their head. I mean, look at Flair. Repeatedly blading. So I consider it more of like scar tissue that was already built up. I'm gonna look at it again real quick because
we're live, pal.
From what I saw, it looked
not much
like
time.
It looked like he chucked that chair at Matt Hardy. It looked pretty bad. So I'm watching it real quick to kind of like just get a refresher because it's been a couple days since Dynamite, obviously.
Well, I'll just edit this, I guess.
Yeah.
So give me a couple seconds. Sorry about that.
Come on, Dick. We're already at almost an hour.
Sorry about that.
We're like way over an hour now.
It's all right.
No, it's more work for me,
I'm trying to keep it under
sorry
an hour.
Sorry about that. Nah, he chucked that fucking chair, dude.
Yes.
That looked.
That's what we said.
He chucked it. Well, you guys kept saying that he chucked that fucking chair, dude. That was not safe. That was not a safe chair throw.
No, it wasn't. But I mean, it's not the same as chucking someone that's not ready to be buckle bombed, and potentially snapping their neck.
I think it was a sketchy chair shot.
It was a sketchy chair shot. I agree.
But I mean, Matt Hardy's done way crazy shit, and I don't think it was a mistake on Guevar's part. I think that was intentional. The sketch.
That wasn't on Matt. That's on Sammy. He chucked that right at his face. I mean, Hardy had to get 13 stitches from that, and he had some headaches, and he did not look very good after that. So, I blame more that on Sammy because that was dangerous. You don't throw a chair at someone's face like that. I mean, that those days are gone. If you're gonna critique someone for doing a chair shot to the head unprotected, you got to do the same thing for throwing a chair at someone's head as well.
Well, it wasn't a steel chair. It was more of a plastic chair. And I'm not making excuses either.
Yeah, that's unsafe. That's on Sammy right there.
But I feel like the blood spot was supposed to come when he got posted into the corner of the ring post.
Instead it came from the chair shot. And that chair shot.
The chair shot probably didn't help at all.
That chair shot did it more than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's on Sammy, dude. That's on him. So, but that was brutal. That was because he was bleeding a lot.
Yeah.
All right. So what else we got?
The main event, I think that was normally I think a lot of the shit that AEW has is pretty corny, but Darby and Moxley put on a good show. I thought. Still
it was
not
a really
fan,
good match.
Still not a fan of Moxley as your guy. Like, come on now. But like that match was good. Obviously, Darby, once he visits Steroid Man, he's gonna be the big star too.
He doesn't need it though.
I don't think he needs it.
Well, like not steroid like Jack, but do like a Daniel Bryan and like get fit. You know what I mean? Like look the part. Because Daniel Bryan
get bigger. I mean, you can get bigger because Darby's pretty fit for what he is. He's just a small dude.
That's what I'm saying.
He's fast as fuck though, dude.
Yeah,
you see him like bouncing around and doing flips and shit. I thought he looked really good in this match. I don't think he needs mass. I think maybe some muscle would help, but like
like cuts.
I don't want to see him with traps up to his ears like Road Warrior or Hawk, you know.
But you got to remember, he's also pretty young as well. As he gets older, his body will get bigger. I mean, he will eventually get bigger over time.
Yeah,
that's just as you get older. So
let's hope he develops out of the 1, 2, 3 kid body and gets like at least a Daniel Bryan body.
Yeah,
I kind of dig the way because it's his wrestling style, so he can chuck his body at anybody, and dude, they're gonna catch him because he's like a $120 probably.
Right.
So that's his style, so he can do that. So I kind of like it. I don't think that he should bulk up. I think he should stay like that.
Like Ricochet. He should get like Ricochet.
Ricochet, yeah, that's a good comparison.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ricochet,
okay.
Jack, bro, like skinny Jack. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
His tattoo is so sick.
Ricochet, I mean, like Ricochet's probably about at least good 20 pounds bigger than Darby at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. He carries that weight well. Is what I want.
Dude, I would love to get that tattoo, dude.
The X-ray full sleeve, it looks badass, dude.
That looks
cool.
dope.
I wanted to talk about Eric Bischoff making an appearance on AEW. The first time on TNT in like 20 years. He's back.
Back and forth.
And better than ever. I thought he did a really good job as a moderator. I don't think he's going to be around like full time or anything, but in this role, in this debate, I thought it was awesome. I thought the whole segment was super entertaining.
One and done.
Jericho is the man on the mic. And, you know, Orange Cassidy, for him not talking too much, he put in work too. He sold me on this match for next week, especially with the last question of why is this match so important to you. He shut down Jericho pretty good. Jericho had a lot of zingers. It was really, really fucking good. It smelled like, what did he smell? What did he say? He smells like Dakar Noir and batteries or some shit like that. Like,
that disc jacket.
Yeah.
I liked Cassidy where he said, you know, people know who you are. They can Google you. And I was like, dude.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. And you know, his rebuttal to that super random question about climate change or like dude, that made the rounds on the internet. Like everybody was talking about that, dude. Like I saw it all over the place. So I mean, I think that kind of like oomphed like even just AEW in general, dude. Like it gave that push. Yeah. So I think it was really cool, dude. It was funny. Just funny, dude.
I had a good time with wrestling this week. I didn't have a lot to complain about. I think the show has been pretty positive and the things that we liked, which is a good sign. And I think the ratings dropping to where they got has really kind of lit a fire under WWE's ass to, think outside the bun a little bit and give us something different than what we're used to. And I can see they're going down that road. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They burned me so many times in the past. I feel like an abusive father is just coming back to be like, I'm good now. But he's just going to walk out on me later.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
He's just going to walk out.
Don't do it.
He's going to cheat on my mom again.
Mm-mm. Don't do it.
Don't do it, Mom.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Mom,
Don't do it.
don't trust him, but I love him.
Nope.
That's
And then he
what's
brings
gonna
you.
happen.
Then he brings you a toy to as a peace offering, and you're like, oh, dude, he's the best.
I've been wanting WrestleMania 2000 on my Nintendo 64. Thanks, Dad.
And next week, burned.
Yeah, I'm going out. Don't wait up. Don't wait up. I'll be out.
This is too much. That was good.
Too real, I think. In my case, this is very real.
Fine line, dude. Fine line.
Well, you guys got anything to add for this week? Special shout out to Connor again last week. I thought he was the perfect guest. He didn't hold back on anything that we asked him, and he said everything was fair game. So we asked him some pretty tough questions, I feel like, and he's a total pro. And so shout out to him and Remy for helping set that up Grudge match.
Yes.
Do you guys got anything to add for this week?
Last thing, Stephanie McMahon, you're a billionaire, but get a better fucking camera for your little segment.
Oh my God, yes.
What the fuck was that? Dude, it was shot on 180p. Come on. You're rich.
Shot with a Motorola Razr, dude.
Come on, man.
LG Envy. Yeah,
what year is it?
Oh my God.
Thank you so much for joining us, listening, downloading, subscribing, telling your friends, telling your neighbors, telling your friends' neighbors. We're available on all podcast platforms, on YouTube, coming soon to Twitch. We got a lot of stuff brewing and a lot of stuff happening. But until then, just make sure you tell everybody you listen to the Premier Podcast, and we are the new World Order of Professional Podcasting. The new World Order of Professional Podcasting, and we will see you next time. All right, I think I can get that down to an hour, or close to.
We're good.
All right. That's cool.
Hey, Drew, can you send me the Zoom?
Yeah, I uploaded it to the cloud this time,
Okay.
so it should be really easy to get to you.
Are you guys going on COD today?